hit record. Hi, Carol. I think it is. I believe we are recording. So it's great to see you here. For anyone watching, could you just introduce yourselves and tell us about the work that you are doing?
So I am Carol Sargent. I'm a scientist and I am actually a doctor as well. And I set up an organization this March, which is all about helping travel, tourism and hospitality to understand the opportunity from the dementia community. And in opening their world, they can provide new services for people who want to continue to live life as well as they can for as long as possible and do the things everybody wants to do in their community. So that's what I'm doing, and having a great time meeting lots of inspirational and interesting people who make things happen to improve accessibility.
Fabulous work, and so important as well. You know, we all live a lot longer, and of course we're all prone to these conditions and things. So I think it touches every family. I don't think I know anyone who doesn't have a relative or someone in close connection who has these conditions. You know, it's one of those, isn't it, that they're enduring, they're experiencing, and it's hard to watch as well. Having, you know, my grandmother was like it for 10 years, so I know that journey well. So obviously you signed up for VIP Squad. I'm really curious as to what it was that made you feel you needed coaching, if you wouldn't mind sharing. What was that?
Absolutely. So I first met you, it was a year past January, at a retreat. And when I went, I knew you were one of the people who were going to be providing different insights. And I was like, oh, I'm really not sure that this is for me at all. But when we did the session, your approach was so different from anything else I'd experienced before. And it made me really think, gosh, with what I do, and because I described, I'm a scientist by training. So as a scientist, as a profession, it's all about the data. Yeah. It's never about yourself. And it's all about the evidence, not about the narrative. And for me, that has been quite a journey to change the way I communicate. And also I'm somebody that, my friends would call me the optimistic timekeeper. That's right. I'm not late because I'm taking my time. I'm generally late because I do too many things. And I recognize that I wanted to create a better work-life balance, as well as be able to communicate with people in a different way. And your approach was so different from anything I'd ever had, because I'd experienced coaching in the pharmaceutical world, and in setting up my previous organization, I'd got, mentoring and coaching, but it was more targeted to the expertise than targeted to the individual.
Yeah, definitely. So how are you finding it in VIP Squad?
I'm really enjoying it. I mean, what is nice is it's a really diverse group of people.
Yeah.
With different, different passions, different drivers, and different personalities. And it's really interesting to hear how other people are getting on. One of the things, if personality like mine, there's always the next thing and the next thing. And it can be really difficult to sit back and recognize that you've achieved certain things. Yeah. And I think that's what's nice about the group is, there's a regular dialogue when, people have done things. And what I've learned is that, those are all celebrations, and I probably set myself too high a goal. So I wouldn't necessarily share what are real celebrations when you've worked hard towards something quite small, but it's not about the biggest, client or the biggest, piece of PR you get. It's about those little bits as you go along. So I've really, really enjoyed that. And I've also really enjoyed the approach to thinking, and I never ever thought I'd say this, based on, the psychic element about what's happening. I really enjoy those monthly sessions because it helps me, it helps me focus and plan a bit more. It makes you think about, the good and the bad days. I'm a scientist, so it's the proof is in the pudding, so to speak. But that I really, really enjoy, because that's interesting, and I think some of the aspects do give you confidence to go and do things that maybe are outside your comfort zone, because of what you're explaining are the opportunities, and that's what they are. They're opportunities, and it's up to you as an individual to decide whether you want to take those opportunities or not. But sometimes you need a little bit of a prod, and it's not a prod you're giving. It's just think about it, on this particular day with everything that's lined up, and if you're this type of organization, maybe it's time to approach a new client. And it just makes you think.
And it does work. It does work. It helps you stay in that alignment and put the energies behind you instead of fighting against it all.
Yes. So
what would you say to anyone who is hesitating about signing up?
I would say, book. I think I did an introductory session with you, and we had, a discussion, and you did some meditation with me, which I hadn't done, and I don't do that as much as I should, but that again introduced a different element. But I'd say book a time, speak to you, and be open in explaining why you want to have somebody
really
else
going on
that support. So I think you've got to be ready to explain. If you're not, don't do it because somebody's told you. Do it because you want to, and be open-minded.
Definitely. And like you say, it's a great tribe, great group of people, all just purpose-driven, basically, and that's what I love about it. So where can people find you and discover more about your purpose, Carol?
So I would say LinkedIn. That's where I post and comment on the things that are important to me around dementia and other things in life. And also look on my website, which is sergeantgroup.consulting.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for your time.
That's all righty.
Chat with you.
And thank you for.
I'll see you over in the squad. We've got Insight next week. We've got the Inner Circle session next week, so I shall see you there.
Brilliant. All righty. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.